Hey, okay, welcome to today's class, and today we're going to look at how to build a text to speech app. All right, so we're going to be making use of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to make it functional. All right, so first I'm going to create a new file from I'm using a VS Code. Create a new file with text to speech. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to edit it here. Let me delete it and start afresh. Okay, so I'm going to create a new file, text to speech .html. Enter. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create my HTML structure. All right. So this is my structure, and underneath it, I'm going to start typing from my body. But first, I'm going to link my style. So I'm going to come over here just after the title, and then I'm going to create style. Right. So under the head, okay, so I think that's it. So I'm going to go into the body right now, and then we're going to start. So under the body, I'm going to create a div. I'm going to create a div. So inside this division, I'm going to have class here. Class equal to container. I'm going to create a container, contain all my things. So bring this down here. So h1 h1 is going to be text to speech. Okay, so we're going to create the text area. Text area. I'm going to give this an ID equal to ID is going to be equal to text. Then under this, I'm going to have placeholder. Placeholder is going to be equal to type. So this is going to contain where we type our text. Type your text. Right. Type your text here. Okay. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to go to is to create a label for it. So inside this label is going to be select voice. So this is where we're going to select different voices to convert our text to. So the second one, we're going to go to select ID. Select ID going to be equal to voice select. This is going to be voice select. Then we're going to go down. We're going to go down and then create another label, also the second label. We're going to create another label. This is going to contain the speech speed. Speech speed. Then it's going to contain how fast or how slow the vocals are going to be. So we're going to give it an ID. Select ID. Select ID. Select ID. It's going to be voice. Select. Okay. Alright, now we're going to make use of this. We're going to change this to input. Input rather. Input type. Input type. So this input type is going to be range, equal to range space. We're going to give ID here, ID rates. Be rates. Let me go minutes. 0.5. That's going to be mean. Max is going to be 2 minutes. To value is going to be 1, and then step is going to be 0.1. So it's the step at which is going to move is going to be 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 to 2. Okay, so the next one is we're going to create a label for pitch. Label. This label is going to be for pitch. The input type. So the input type of pitch is going to be equal to range. The attribute ID, we're going to give it an ID. ID, same thing, rate. So ID is going to be pitch, not rate. Pitch. It's going to be pitch, not rate. So we'll go with mean equal to 0. Max equal to 2. Value equal to 1, and step is 0.1. Okay. So let's go back to controls. We're going to create another div. The class is going to be controls. So these are going to be different buttons. Button class is going to be equal to speak. So we're going to give JavaScript a JavaScript attribute here. We're going to call it speak text. Speak text. So call it speak. So we're going to copy this. I'm going to copy, Ctrl C, come down, Ctrl C, and paste it here. And then we're going to change the attribute of this button to pause. Pause. So this is going to be when you pause the text to speech. So we'll go this one, pause speech, and then this here is going to be pause. So come down here, place another one, and change this one to stop. So we have three functions here: speak, pause, and then stop speech. I'm going to take this one. The JavaScript attribute is going to be stop speech. I'm using a camel case here. Stop speech. So it's going to be stop. Okay. So that's about it. So I'm going to save this one now, and then we're going to run it. Let me turn on my so we're going to run this on let's run this now with live server. Let's see what we've done so far. Okay. Right. I'm going to minimize this and shift this to one side here. So I'm going to have this here. Spread this and move this way inside. Alright, so this is what we have right now, text to speech. So the next phase we're going to go into is to create a hold on, let me shift this a bit. So the next phase we're going to go into now is to create the script for it. So we're going to go up to our style. We're going to start styling from this. So we're going to start with this. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to use our carrots here. So I'm going to start with margin. Start with margin is going to be 0. Padding is going to be 0. When you box size, box dash size, sorry, we're gonna do box sizing rather, box dash sizing. So we're gonna leave these two border dash box and font dash family. Font dash family. So this is going to be let's go with sans serif. Okay. So next we're gonna move down to the body. Move down to the body. So if we save, we'll see what we've done so far. So we're going to move to the body background color, just the background. We're going to leave it as, I'm going to use hashtag hexacorder 0f172a. Okay, let me save. Okay, so I'm going to change it to a blue color, and I'm going to go to display flex. Display is going to be flex. Then I'm going to go to justify content. So we're going to put the content to center. And then align items, we're also going to put this one on center. And then height is going to be 100 VH. Vertical height, and then I'm gonna choose color. It's gonna be white. Alright, so let's save and see what we've done. Alright, so we've been able to change the size what we want it to be. We want it to position at the center. We've been able to change the text to white, so it's going to appear better on the background. So the next phase we're going to go to is the containers. So we're going to go to the dot containers. So we're going to go to dot container. We're going to be targeting these ones step by step. So dot containers, we're going to go with the width. So the width is going to be let's say 500 pixels. And background, we're going to leave the background to hashtag 1E293B. So we're going to leave it as this kind of blue. So let's save and see what this color is. Okay, so I like the color. I'm going to go to padding, box padding. I'm going to give it a 30 pixel, and then I'm going to go with border radius. I'm going to give it like 15 pixels. Let's do that 15 pixels, and Then box shadow, we're going to create a shadow around the box. Box dash shadow. So in the box dash shadow, I'm going to go with box dash shadow. I'm going to go with 0 0 20 pixels, and RGBA. We're gonna have something like 0, 0, 0. 5. So it's gonna be this type of black. So let's save and see what we've done. Good. You can see the changes, and then we're gonna move to the. Alright, I think we're done with this. So we're gonna move to this H1. We're gonna target the H1 now. We're gonna go with text align. We're gonna move to center. Then we're going to go to the margin dash bottom. So we're going to leave it at 20 pixel, right? And then we're going to go to color. We're going to go to color. I'm going to give this 38 BDF8. I'm gonna give it this green, this type of blue. Okay, so save and see what we've done. Okay, I think we're getting there step by step. So next we're gonna go into the text area. We're going to target the text area, and then we're going to create on the text area around the text area. We're going to have the width first. The width is going to be 100%, and the height we're going to leave it at 180 pixels, and padding we're going to leave the padding at 15 pixel, and go to the border. So we're going to leave the border. We're going to remove the border, put it at none, and then we're going to go to outline around the border. So we're going to leave it at none, and resize. Keep it on. Then we're going to go to border reduce. Border dash reduce. We're going to leave border reduce at 10 pixels, and the font size. Font dash size. I'm gonna font that size at 16 pixels, and then the margin from bottom. Margin dash bottom. So the margin dash bottom, we're going to leave it at 20 pixels. Okay. So we're going to save. Control S. Alright, so we've created the text area. You can see the text where you type your text. So it's accepting text right now. Okay, so the next thing is to arrange these, the select voice, speech speed, sorry, and pitch, then the speak, pause, and stop. So we're going to go here to the controls, or rather we're going to go to the select first. So we're going to go to select, impute. So our select impute, we're going to start with the width 100% width, padding 10 pixels, padding, margin dash bottom, we're gonna leave it at 15 pixels. Border is going to be none. Border, we're gonna leave border at none. The border radius dash radius, we're gonna leave border radius at 8 pixels, and then we're going to the border outline, but we're gonna leave it at none. Okay, so we save and see what we've done. Okay, so now I'm going to move to the control. So we've created this. Alright, so we're going to go to controls. Okay, move down to duct controls. Alright, display is going to be flex, then gap, we're going to leave it at 10 pixels. So save. Okay, so that is our control. That's good. So we're going to go to the button, so flex, I'm gonna leave flex at 1. Padding, you're gonna leave the padding at 12 pixel. Alright, border, we're gonna leave it at none. Border dash radius 8 pixels. A cursor, so we're going to keep the cursor to a pointer. Leave the cursor to a pointer, then font dash size. Font dash size is going to be, I'm going to leave it at 16 pixels. Then font weight, font dash weight, I'm going to go with bold. So Control S, save. Good. I think we're progressing. We have the speed, the pause, and the stop. Alright, so we progress to transition. Under this list, do transition, some animation, transition to 0.3 seconds. Wow. Alright, good. I think we're good. So we're going to go to dot speak, the speak, in dot speak we're going to target this particular one here now. So in that one we're going to give it a background, background of let's go with hash 38 bdf 8. Okay, so control S. Okay, fine, I think it's good. Then we're going to go to color of the text. The text color is going to be white. Control S. Good. Then I will move down to dot pause. We're going to target the pause. The pause. So background. I'm going to leave the background to hashtag F5 90 0p. Is this color good? Okay, let's see. Okay, I think it's okay. Then change the color to white. Okie, then the last one. Okay, so we're gonna go to the speed stop button. Stop. So we're gonna do the same thing. Background. So this background is going to be hash e of 1 2 3 4. Okay, we're going to leave it at red. I think it's okay. Control S. Good. And then we're going to go to color. Same thing. White. Good. Alright. So we'll move to the next phase, the labels. Okay, first of all, let's create a CSS for, let's start the buttons. So we're going to do button hover, button hover. So what happens when we hover around the button, when our mouse hovers around the button? So we're going to create a transform. We're going to give it scale. So in the scale 1.03. Okay, let me look at this and see what happens. Okay, see, it's gonna scale, see what happens. All right, and that's it. So we're not going to go into the label. So the label display block is going to be block margin dash bottom 5 pixel, and color we're going to go with hashtag CBD5 E1. If you don't know how to do this, you can just type the color that you want. Okay, or you hover over here and then you can shift the color to anything I want. Let's see what happened. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I think we're good right now. So the next thing next phase we're going to go into is to create our JavaScript. So as you can see, Control save. Let's open this in full. So this is what we've created. When you type your text here, you select the speech from this angle. So we've not created a JavaScript code for it to enable us to get speech from speech synthesis API and then use those speech to create what we want to create. Okay, so let's move over to our JavaScript. Right. Okay, so right now under our div we're going to create a script. Alright, so we're going to start with const text input equal to document dot get element by id. So we're going to create this text here. So it's going to be the text. Right. So what does this mean? This actually means that this code simply tells the computer to get the text area where the user types the text. So automatically it is referring to this place. So whatever the user types here is going to get it and convert it. So let's move on to the next one. So we're going to copy this also. Instead of typing all of them, Ctrl C. So I'm going to change this to voice select. It's going to be voice select. So it's going to be voice select. So we're going to get another one, which is going to be rate. And inside there we're going to get rate. Good. So next we're going to go with pitch. And inside our area pitch. Alright, so this is where the text area where the user types the text. So all of this is going to happen into these text areas. So we're going to go into creating the arrays in JavaScript. We're going to go into creating the arrays. This is where we load the voice speech synthesis. All right, so now the next is we're going to go into how we load our voice. We're going to create a variable. Let voices equal to so we're going to go let voices equal to there's some of the mistakes that a lot of people make on JavaScript is when to end the sentence. You already have that mistake here. JavaScript is like your language. So when you forget to end the sentence, it's going to render that code invalid. You start seeing error on your code. Okay, so I think we're done with that. So we're going to now go into loading the voices. So we're going to create function. The function here, we're going to go load voices. Load voices. So where we're going to load the voices from, voices is going to be equal to speech synthesis. So we're going to get this voice from speech synthesis. So this one we've created an empty array to store the available voices from web browser. That is what we did with this function here. I'm going to give a space. That's what we gave here. We created an array of what we're going to store all the available voices from speech synthesis from the browser. So we've created a function where we're going to load the voices. Where this voice is going to come from, it's going to come from speech synthesis from Google. So that's where we're going to get speech voices, all the speech voices from the browser, and store them inside our own voice array. So when we get this one from speech synthesis is going to get stored into this voice that we've created, into this array, to this one, the variables that we've created also. Right, so we're going to continue. So where are we going to get those voices? Speech synthesis. So this is where we're going to get the voices from speech synthesis. We're going to tell it dot get voice. Okay, so we're going to get voices from speech synthesis. Go down. So the next one is voice select. It's going to be equal to inner HTML equal to, we're going to leave this open and then close it. So then we're going to get voices dot for each voice index. So I'm going to create another bracket here. Voice index. Close it. So we're going to go equal to creator this. So under here I'm going to go const option equal to document dot create element. Document dot create element option. This is where it gets so confusing. So I'm going to explain this now. So right now we've written this voice, the voice select equal to HTML. So this removes all drop down options before adding new ones. So it's going to remove every other things that you put in before adding new one. That's simply what this does. So we're going to move on to going to create an option value, option dot value equal to index equal to index, and then option dot text content equal to dollar sign bracket. So inside voice dot name voice dot name bracket dollar sign voice dot lang. Okay, so voice dot select dot append child. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of errors. Option option okay, okay, save. Let's see. Okay, so we've saved to load available voices. So we're going to go and oh, I'm gonna doing this too. So we're going to move into loading the available voices. So speech synthesis dot on voices changed equal to load voices. So what we made here now is So whenever the browser voices become available, it's going to load the voice into our browser. That is simply what this code means. Alright, so now we're going to go to the speech function. Speak. Function speak text. So if we're going to use the looping code now, if boolean voices text input, if text input dot value, if text input dot value the trim equals to, I'm going to leave a quotation, alert, please enter some text. So whenever we run this code, or whenever we click speak and there's no text in this area, this is going to show us as the message. It's going to tell you, please enter some text here. Okay, so let's end the sentence. Then once it enters and send it, we're going to return. We're going to return. Alright, that's good. So we're going to move into. So let's look at what this means also. So this checks if the text area is empty before speaking. If it is empty, it's going to tell you to enter a text inside. We're going to see what we've done so far. So I'm going to save this now. So we'll see what we've done so far. We have created this, and if you open here, these are different Google speeches. So we've been able to pick these voices, we're able to load these voices from Google API. Okay, so you can see my code from top. We've been able to load all these voices. This is where we loaded the voices from. So look at this place, load voices when it's available. So speech synthesis dot on voice change equal to 1. So this is where we load our voices. I've also given you a note on it so you can see it. So if you can see my screen, okay, I'm going to break it down step by step. So we're going to start from this script. This is the major part that I wanted to also explain about. So we're going to start from this particular place. Const text input equal to document.get id by element equal to text. So this is where this gets the text area where the user types the text. So whenever the user types this text, whatever happens here is what this JavaScript code commands. And then we'll load let voices. We created an array, created a variable here of where we load our voices. So a variable is more like a container where you store every other things inside. So we created a container where we store all the voices that we're going to get from Google API, speech synthesis API, and this is where we load it. So from here we began to load all those voices into our variables. So you can see it now. we're going to get all the speeches from the browser and store them inside these what arrays. Okay, so then we move to voice from what HTML. This voice from HTML, voice select HTML, so removes old drop down. So once you have something, it's going to remove the old drop down options before adding new one. And then through that we created a loop. We created a loop here. You can see around this area we created a loop here. So what does this loop does? Loop through every available voices. So here it is here. It's going to loop through every available voices that you can select. And then also we create a drop down option here. We create a drop down option here. We create a new drop down option element here. So this is where we want to get new elements from this here. So we began to load the voices when they are available. Alright, before that we're going to display the voice name inside this drop down. So these are the names of this drop down. This is where we created them. We began to display their name and their language. So and after that we created voice append. We will add an option into the drop down menu. So when you click down here, this is where you have an option into display, so you can select the voice that you want to add here. And then we move into loading the voices when they are available. So what this does is the rows the load and load the voices function when the browser voices becomes available. So once the voice becomes available on this browser, it's going to automatically run it into this code. And then from there we go to speak function. We select the speak function. So this speak function, what it does is that this code here now, if when we type a text inside this code, it's going to create and then speak the voice of the text that we type. For instance, if I type go, and then you're going to hear it. If I type come, we're going to get into it. So this is what this does. And then we went it and then created the if and the function. Okay, we've done the speak function, and then the next one is if the checklist is empty. Well, if this place is empty now, and then we press it, it's going to please enter some text here. That is what we put here, alert. So we alerted it on the screen that whenever there is no text inside this box, and we click speak, it's going to give us an alert. Please enter some text here, and then it returns. Once you click OK, it returns back to that. So we created an object for this speech synthesis utterances. So what this does is to create a speech object used by the speech engine. So we've created an object used by the speech engine. These are the different objects of different voices. Okay, so we add and then we add the inputs and assign the type text to a particular voice or a particular object. this is what we have created. So the code for this one, speech.voice, we use this to select the selected voices from the drop down menu. So these are the, so whenever we select a voice, it's going to change that voice object. So you can see that. So when you click it, it's going to okay, you come. Let me change my okay. So that is what we've done here, and that's about it. So let's go to the pitch area, the control area, the set pitch. So this pitch area creates how the pitch of this vocal. So if I take it up, and then it's going to be very tiny. If I bring it down, it's going to be then the speech speed going to be so fast. Let me type a sentence here. Come and take some water. So let's take it down. Okay. And if I take it up, right? So if we increase the pitch, so that's what we've created in that area: the pitch, the speech volume, the speech speed, and all that. So this speak text, okay, let's go to the speak text area. Okay, okay, we've done the speak text, the functions, and all that. So this function speak. Let's move down to the code where we wrote the speak. So this is the functions, the speech function. We have the speak. So what this does is to so when we pause it, it's going to pause. If we stop it, it's going to stop. So that's what all these codes are all about. So I hope you enjoy these tutorial. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. All right. Okay, so let's go to Indonesia. All right. So we can see that we are getting there. Let's go to Portuguese. Okay. So this is just about can see different accent from different world countries. So that is it about it. We can stop. All right. Thank you for watching. See you. All right. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye for now.